The obvious answer is usually, if you think you'll be good with creator marketing, you should do creator marketing. But I also take a little bit of the opposite approach where if you have a product that might be a little harder to explain to the everyday person, or maybe you've just run a lot of different types of, traditional brand ads and you want a different point of view and how people talk about your products, I feel like those are amazing candidates actually for creator marketing.
Did you know that you can start partnering with YouTube creators for your performance campaigns right in Google Ads? I'm Ginny Marvin, Ads Product Liaison at Google, and this is Ads Decoded. We went straight to the YouTube NewFronts stage in New York for this special episode. If, like me, you're new to the world of creator marketing, maybe you've noticed creator partnerships under tools in your Google Ads account, but haven't gone much farther. This is for you. I sat down with Melissa Hsieh Nikolic, Director of Product Management for YouTube Ads. Her teams are building the tools to help advertisers and agencies partner with creators on their campaigns right in Google Ads and DV360. I asked her the questions you also likely have. Would this be a fit for my business? How do we find the right creators to partner with? What makes creator partnerships successful? And most importantly, how does this drive real results for advertisers? Let's go to the stage. Melissa, so great to be with you here on the YouTube NewFronts stage, where earlier you shared a lot of updates about YouTube creator partnerships. I'm excited to dig into that. For a long time, it seemed like creator marketing was really for bigger brands, bigger budgets, dedicated teams. That seems to be shifting. We're also going to be talking about how Google's making it easier for brands of all sizes to engage with creators on their performance campaigns right in Google Ads. First, though, I want to talk about who is watching YouTube. Obviously, YouTube's been around for many years.
20 years.
20 years. Amazing. Things have certainly, I think, evolved, shifted. Who's watching? Where are they watching? What kinds of shifts are you seeing today?
Well, I would say who isn't watching YouTube? There's just so much great content and creators across the platform. And even in my household, we watch everything from comedy to physics videos to engineering experiments to, I'm just like very obsessed with small kitchen appliances. And it's it just covers the entire gamut. So I think there's really something for everyone and all interests. I would say some of the trends that we've seen the last few years actually is people really shifting their kind of watching behavior to the living room and that like really juicy big screen TV and taking the opportunity to, watch longer form content, 20 minutes plus or engage or lean back. Really love seeing creators also really embracing that opportunity. A lot of them are also shooting in 4K now. And I think on the other end of the spectrum, YouTube Shorts is also snackable bits. People are coming into the day, getting, entertained or like learning really quickly. So we're really seeing kind of shifting on both ends.
I've seen the shift to living room in our household from my husband's really into biking, a lot of mountain biking videos. Yes. So you're basically on the trail with them. And so, yes, we have a lot of that in our household. Coming back into the tactical experience and thinking about ways that advertisers can engage with creators. For many in our audience, creator marketing is not in their portfolio or has not been. So how is the YouTube creator partnerships now enabling advertisers to take advantage of working with creators? How has that been evolving? And what are sort of the highlights of what people can find there?
Yeah, as we were really thinking about how to bring YouTube creator partnerships to just marketers worldwide, we really thought through what is the experience that we want so every marketer can actually really bring creator marketing and working with creators just like directly into their everyday lives, whether it's through planning or discovery or actually like directly outreaching with them. And so in YouTube Creator Partnerships Hub and Google Ads, we also have it in DV360. We kind of cover the gamut of you are searching for creators that could be a good fit for your brand, and creators of all different sizes. They're not just the biggest creators. There are also niche creators, nano micro creators who would love to partner. We also have ways to discover videos where creators are already in your network, right? They might be doing sponsored content for you already, but you want to bring that as part of your ads campaign. We also help creators and brands find each other through brand mentions, because we know a lot of creators authentically like sharing the brands they like, the product reviews that they like, and making that accessible to these brands to find really quickly. So they know, creator A just talks about my brand and my products all the time. I should actually really reach out and, do a partnership with them.
And so in creator partnership, there's a search function. You can just type in your brand, your area of interest, your service area, those kinds of things.
We actually go a step further.
Okay.
When you go into creator partnerships, oftentimes if we are able to already know that creators or videos are talking about your brand, we'll show them to you already. So it doesn't have to be like a full cold star, like who should I look for? What should I look for? We're really, bringing the best of AI to serve that up as soon as possible.
Is Gemini plugged into this now?
So I would say Gemini and AI is across, the entire stack and many, many parts of it in Google Ads to just really bring that to the forefront. With AI, favorite topic of us, obviously, is the ability to understand and process just billions of signals to get to the heart and the insights that I think would otherwise just take hours and hours in order to get to that same place.
All right. So you've never done creator marketing before. You might have gone to YouTube creator partnerships in Google Ads, seen the search bar, but not anything else. And now you'll be able to see some recommendations generated and can start your discovery process that way.
Yes. And we also have more robust features like creator lists. So that say you search, you're browsing through, discovering, looking at, some really key metrics around the creator and their audience. And you're like, okay, I'm interested. What do I do next? You can actually just hit this little cute icon on the side and actually build a list to explore further, to do outreach. So I do think we really like the idea of there could be an iterative process, especially for folks who are newer to creator marketing and just, want to get started on that journey.
I want to go a little further into the nuts and bolts of it all. But what kind of businesses are best suited for creator partnerships? Is there a certain sector or segment that might not be a great fit? Or what are some of the things that you've seen or maybe some of the surprises that you've seen in terms of brands who have been partnering?
So I would say the obvious answer is usually, if you think you'll be good with creator marketing, you should do creator marketing. But I also take a little bit of the opposite approach where if you have a product that might be a little harder to explain to the everyday person, or maybe you've just run a lot of different types of, traditional brand ads and you want a different point of view and how people talk about your products, I feel like those are amazing candidates actually for creator marketing. We've seen finance firms be very interested because sometimes I think the concepts and how they explain the services can be very technical or deep when they are doing it themselves, as opposed to a creator can just give one or two real life examples and immediately it just kind of hits with the viewers.
And also, I think that's a really good point because a lot of people may think creator marketing is for retail. But I think what you're saying is creator marketing can be for service industries, B2B, lead gen, outside of strict retail sector.
I do think retail is always kind of like a primary example because there's the way that, retailers and brands think about their like physical product. But I do think every day in the lives of creators who are using or talking about the pros and cons and bringing in that like expert opinion just does push that really far. But I also have seen really great examples of like sunscreen products and like, showing like the texture, how tactile it is. Or some of the examples that we've seen that have worked with our creators, like Dunkin' Donuts releasing a new menu. And we got a lot of great feedback of just seeing people in their everyday lives, like go through the drive-thru and just like drinking the coffee or like enjoying the new flavor. And so I think it also heightens just any kind of moment that these brands want to associate with,
Yeah.
and to get those viewers really understanding what they're trying to do.
Yeah. And I like the piece that you said about being able to explain tougher concepts about product, services, whatever it is, in creators' own words, which then brings me to the question of what are some of the things that companies need to be keeping in mind when they are working with creators that is different than managing a standard performance campaign and creative.
So I would say we've seen a lot of learnings over the last few years as, different ranges of brands have started working with creators. I think the two things that have really stuck out to me interviewing and talking to both the brand and advertiser marketing side as well as the creator side is really giving space for the creator to authentically and genuinely talk about that brand or product. And I think when we've seen creative briefs that are just like very specific of how to talk to brand, what words you should use, what is the exact color palette, kind of, I think, brand specs a lot of times. And then the creators may have a reaction that's like, oh, this is actually like doesn't feel as native of how I talk about things for my channel, or even wanting edits after something is delivered. And you can kind of actually see through the series of edits that like this magic, this like direct connection gets lost. So I really do think that if brands are thinking about really engaging and testing with creator marketing, do you want to think about a different set of, brand specs that they would have for their regular campaigns, and separate from their creator campaigns that may be more loose. They flow better. They give the creator the space to engage with their viewers and audiences like they normally would.
Yeah. And so it is a different mindset than your owned media.
Yes.
Right. While we're talking on this, you hinted somewhat at some of the things not to do, but any examples or more color on things that you've seen that are really like this relationship works so well because of what the brand brought to the table?
Ooh. So I would say one of the best examples I've seen of this is a gaming company who came out with a new kind of mobile app game. They did a little A/B test on their own, actually, to evolve and learn. But one set of specs was, this is the game, show these screens, talk about it in this way. This is how we would like our company represented. And then the other test was, here's the game, have at it, right? And so as we were working with them to actually understand and like review and look at what the creatives were coming back, the set around the very specific, this is how we talk about the brand, those videos, even though they had a broad range of creators actually submitting these videos, felt like plus or minus kind of the same, because there was such a strong editorial voice going into the input versus the ones that were like, have at it. We saw a lot more kind of framing the videos where it felt like you were doing a like live stream play and they were like dictating and playing. And we've heard some that were just commentary. We've seen some that are like pulling up their phones and like, oh, I'm just so obsessed with this right now. And so I think the sheer variety and just the enthusiasm you can hear from the creators in this second set just lit up in such a different way than when the editorial voice is so strong.
And do you ever see examples of what the creators have been able to bring to content then translate into the brand's owned content at all?
So one of our biggest examples from the past year was this Supergoop campaign. Supergoop is a like sunscreen company. Their packaging is like really fun. And they partnered with Liza Koshy, who also has like a very fun personality, does, really amazing, entertaining, but, also informative and like innovative videos on YouTube. And just seeing the output of that about like how she talks about it, how she like innovated, it literally was like a sunscreen holder for a cell phone, because when do you need it the most, right? When you don't have it.
Yeah.
And being built out from there, like we've seen some of that playfulness actually resonate and kind of move back to overall messaging. It's great to get creators to help land and kind of push that brand forward in their own thinking of how to evolve.
Love that. And so bringing back into the YouTube creator partnerships in Google Ads, I just want to, we've talked about the discovery piece of it, and then you can also manage the relationships with creators. How does that work? And has that been evolving?
In YouTube creator partnerships within Google Ads, we do provide the ability to search and to do outreach and do, I would say, like lighter engagements there. I think one of the most important things as we were kind of really figuring out how to bring more marketers and creators together is retaining different communication channels that they may already use. So there is, YouTube on platform notifications and outreach directly there. We do see a lot of brands still love using email because it's just an open, flexible surface that they can get really deep into. And when they do hire creators or they make lists of creators, that can actually be managed within Google Ads.
Okay. And what is your team working on now that you're really excited about?
I'm excited about many things that our teams are working on. I think one is really continuing to push the frontier of AI to get to these non-obvious matches for both brands and creators. And I think just really understanding the heart of the DNA of both of those and bringing those together. So you'll probably hear me talk a lot about that. Another one is really around, I think we usually think about it as like ad formats and creatives, but kind of more of the blending of the creative that the creator brings us and flexing the ad format to make sure that marketers are getting the performance that they need and want out of this. And I think that leads to one of my favorite things is really around reporting, measurement, and analytics. With creator marketing, because oftentimes we see the organic performance and then the paid media performance and having to move back and forth between the two, really pulling those together so a marketer can just see the entire paid, owned, earned in one seamless flow. We think that will really push forward and help people understand the value of being able to do paid marketing, performance marketing, creator marketing, and it really is a portfolio of how to reach those goals.
That brings me to activation and YouTube Creator Partnership Boost. And what is it and what does it enable?
So YouTube Creator Partnerships Boost is a mechanism to really boost creator assets as part of a Google Ads campaign. At the heart of it, it's really about brand partner access, where a creator and a brand can actually, come together, grant access. And there's three big unlocks in that kind of handshake. The first one is that they get what we call like the co-branded format. And what we really see is there's these like cute little avatars where there's the brand logo and then the actual creator avatar. And obviously, being Google Ads, we've done a lot of testing on this. We know that viewers like engaging with the brand, they like engaging with the creator. And so with both tap targets and the flow through, it literally is co-branded together. And the second one is advertisers will get reporting that actually has both the organic and the paid KPIs together. And we obviously think that's a powerful unlock to measure performance. And then the third one, which was a sleeper hit when we launched this, is really about custom segments, because the advertiser can then start seeing the incrementality. They can do remarketing and outreach later.
You talked about the reporting that's available. I think that's also a really important piece of this is the organic and the paid, that they both work better together or lifting all boats. For an advertiser who's brand new to creator marketing, they may go into YouTube creator partnerships in Google Ads, find maybe recommended videos, or they can see that there are already existing videos that creators have made referencing their brand. They want to partner with them. What are the next steps?
There's a few different ways they can approach this. I think the first one is they can initiate the handshake or the brand partner access directly in the Google Ads interface. And that will basically fire off a notification into YouTube Studio that asks the creator, you want to grant access, you have a partnership with them. They read their fine print, check a box. That allows the advertiser to use that creator creative in an ad campaign. That's probably the most straightforward way to do that. Another one is as they're doing their campaign construction, like demand gen, for example, in the asset picker, they can also start typing in to add the video there. So we're kind of approaching it in many different ways. So it just feels like it is a natural part of the process as marketers are kind of setting up campaigns or starting from the creator marketing entry point.
That's super interesting. And I think it's also it's really important to underscore that you are working with a creator, that there is permission on their end to use their videos, and that is built into the process. And so the other step would be you want to go have deeper engagements with creators, have them create new videos for you. What does that process look like?
So we've often seen brands just know ahead of time what creators that they actually want to work with because they've seen their content, they like their vibe, it matches really well. So they can actually do an outreach from Google Ads to the creator. I think the alternate is if the advertiser, if the brand just wants to start from scratch. We've got, AI powered creator search within Google Ads, and they can literally say, what kind of audience, is there a category or content type they're looking for, get a list of creators back, and then really start kind of combing through which ones they're interested in engaging in. I usually recommend that they can add them to a creator list, just kind of keep something together for them. But within that, they can actually outreach to the creator. And that gives the brand an opportunity to put, what they're looking for, what are some of the assets, how do they want to start that engagement? And then that can go directly to the creator as well. So we're kind of giving a little bit of hand-holding with here's what type of brief they're usually looking for, but also a direct way to connect to the creator that isn't just like a cold call or a cold email.
Great. And do you see brands who are just getting into creator marketing, are they working with multiple creators? Are they identifying, one that they really want to work with, understand how that process should work? How do you see brands typically going about this?
Yes, we do see brands typically actually reaching out to multiple creators, and it could be in the kind of single digits to the hundreds sometimes, depending on how big the campaign is, what are they looking for, what is their bottom line KPIs. But I actually think a bit of it as like either A/B testing or hiring. Like you want to cast a wide net and see if it fits with what the creator is looking for and obviously what the brand is looking for, and going through that process.
I would switch gears a little bit to more scalable solutions. Obviously, there are large agencies, there are creator agencies, and the YouTube Creator Partnerships API is for those larger agencies, tech platforms, to be able to help scale. Can you talk a little bit about who the API is best suited for and what it enables?
So we have a multi-pronged strategy, of course. One of them is the 1P within Google Ads DV360 tools. And the other one is really making sure that we're part of the creator marketing ecosystem and supporting IMAs and SaaS platforms to have up-to-date deterministic data that they can actually plug directly into their tools. And a large part of this is to make sure that the creator data around their channel insights, what are their reviews like, anything about the audience is just, coming from YouTube at the highest quality and not having to build their own models or assume something about our platform when we can just publish this out. We also know that a lot of brands really like working with the agencies that they have or are engaging with agencies to lead them and help them through this process. So we do really think being part of that ecosystem is very beneficial for our creators and our agency partners.
There's also something called Open Call. Can you tell us what that is and how marketers should be thinking about that?
Yeah, so we designed Open Call to potentially be a first foray for advertisers that are either seeking new creators to work with, or maybe even creators for the first time, to very easily put up their creative brief, and our AI systems actually help to source which creators to do outreach to. And it's run a bit like a contest format where the creators can submit the videos that are reviewed, the advertiser watches them. We obviously have reviewers and AI that watch them. And then from there, they can very quickly identify, are there creators whose content resonate? Definitely they want to have an ongoing partnership with them. Is there something in the creative that they just saw that they want to add to a campaign? to really get kind of both the organic and the paid together. Or it's just to help them better explore how they think about getting their brand represented in the larger landscape of creator marketing.
Okay. And so it's kind of just getting that process started. Is it in the YouTube creator partnerships in Google Ads? Okay.
Yes.
It was all part and parcel of this.
And we'll continue rolling that out through the year.
Okay.
US and other different markets. I think it's just, like I said, a really interesting way to not hand select everything up front, but just get it out there and see what comes back.
All right. So you've activated, we're talking about formats. How are these ads showing up? Where are they showing up? And has that been evolving at all?
Yes, I've worked on ad formats for probably a decade at Google, so I love a good ad format. We did quite a bit of research and testing with the current format that's available, and it's called the co-branded format. But it really is the brand and the creator being co-branded together. With different click targets, if you want to explore the creator more, if you want to explore the brand more. And what we've really seen that viewers stay and watch and engage with the content because of the creator. But the interest and the intrigue for the brand is something that they do want to dive into. So designing this co-branded format that allows for both of that exploration, follow-up engagement is a key part of the value prop, both to the creator and the advertiser. So that's available on Shorts, on InStream. We continue to roll it out, innovate on it. But we do think that's just a really powerful way to have that together.
And that brings me, you mentioned Shorts and InStream. How long are these ads usually? Are they for Shorts, or are there long form options? Is there anything from a length restriction?
So there actually is not a length restriction. What we've seen is there's a lot of appetite for Shorts because they're encapsulated. I think the vibes of Shorts, can be very different, and creators are just very comfortable in that space. So we do see quite a bit of brand interest in doing Shorts. I think because YouTube has a very strong bench of creators who do longer form content, they can be more integrated. We've definitely seen these segments go anywhere from 15 seconds to 2 minutes, just depending how does it fit in with the content? What is the narrative? How do they like to do the storytelling and the pacing? And we see it kind of broadly across the spectrum. I would say it's about 50-50 of brands who want Shorts or brands who want kind of brand segments.
Interesting. And I'm assuming now brands who have been more skewed on long form are also looking at ways to maybe take the existing content and use it on Shorts? Or, are you seeing more brands look at both format options?
We've seen brands look at both format options because I think uniquely to YouTube is the fact and ability that viewers can go, across the entire spectrum of both format length, landscape, horizontal, TV, mobile. And so brands obviously want to tap into that.
Yeah.
And our creators are, very comfortable with multi-format. And we've heard some really great stories from creators that say, I have a production schedule that is months in advance. It's sometimes harder for me to, do a branded segment because they've got, stuff planned in film. But day in and day out, I would love to do more Shorts for engagements. So we see them be additive to what they're already doing. We see the flip side for brands who may think more short form first, but then getting really a lot of value from the audiences that are really leaned into long form.
You mentioned finance firms and thinking about sectors who are in more sensitive categories. Have you seen businesses that are in those more sensitive, regulated sectors? Are they using creator marketing? And have you seen sort of an evolution of sectors that might have been more standoffish, a little bit more nervous about what working with a creator looks like? Had there been success stories in those areas?
The example I was referencing earlier was actually for a traditional banking institution. And I think some of the interesting things there is the way that they had always thought about their marketing positioning was very different from our creators. We had a lot of kind of investing and finance forward creators who, really wanted to bring that to their viewers. I think on the flip side, when it comes to more sensitive categories, because this is and tied to Google Ads, it adheres to the same ads policies. And so we do look at Is it, the age gating? Is it the sensitive categories? Are we putting disclaimers on top of it? And this is one of the values that we feel like is part of the ecosystem, because we have the Google Ads platform we've built for over 20 years. We have the YouTube platform, and we're really seeking to make sure that creators know what they're getting into, but also understanding that, we have this two-way connection and our systems that kind of support and monitor that.
Very good point about adhering to all the policies. From the brand side, what should they know about being in compliance with policies?
So for brands that are on Google Ads and have gone through the certifications or the checks or the validations they need, they will be the ones who will be able to engage with creators. For very sensitive ad categories, we are not intentionally trying to open this up to creators and give them more risk exposure, as opposed to advertisers who are on the platform and have, completed and finished our policies to be able to do to partner with creators. So our goals as we're building out creator marketing is to make it accessible to different sectors and segments. And I do think if they are already advertising on Google AdWords and kind of covered all the policies and the disclaimers that they need, that's a very core part of what we're bringing into the creator marketing space to make sure that these sectors are able to leverage the concept of creator marketing and have a different voice, really, talk about the values of their services or their products. But on the flip side, to make sure that the creators who are in this ecosystem understand enough about the regulatory practices, if disclaimers are mandatory, to know that up front before they take the engagement or make the creative. So we're doing a bit of a two-way handshake, as a lot of these industries are figuring out how and when to engage with creator marketing.
Right. Thinking about from a role standpoint, a lot of this audience for Ads Decoded is they've been running search campaigns for a long time. They've been running PMAX, demand gen. Creator marketing has not possibly been in their remit. How are we seeing those kind of relationships working? Should they be saying, oh, I can now expand my role as I'm doing creator marketing now? Or are you more seeing the media buyer role partnering with the creator marketing agencies or freelancers or in-house folks?
So I would say we've seen it all.
Okay.
And it's ever evolving. I think for folks who are firmly in the paid media seat, one fairly, simplistic way for them to engage if they have existing creator marketing or influencing marketer teams outside of their group is to just say, tell me what the URLs, what are the creatives that are really working that can really help with the paid media campaign. Big reason why we built Creator Partnerships Boost is to kind of very seamlessly do that handshake. I think the other one is, especially for smaller firms or businesses where, maybe they start with search marketing and then, with the opportunity and just the engagement that YouTube has to get their feet wet into how can they natively think about the creatives, the outreach, bringing creators into the mix of their brand message. We also have the discovery, the search tools directly within creator partnerships to be able to start those engagements as well. So I really do encourage everyone to test across the spectrum of what works for them. And I think what we've been seeing, more over the last year are at the start of campaigns, oftentimes these teams will now come together to really think through the holistic planning of, what is partitioned and will work for paid media or organic or earned. And then on top of that, as these campaigns are launching, like the flywheel of when to share creatives, to source new creatives, to put more boost dollars towards something. So we've literally seen it across the entire spectrum.
I want to ask about measurement. Obviously, we want these campaigns to work and drive towards business goals. And creator marketing often can be seen in terms of measurement, like brand lift and awareness metrics. We are talking more specifically about impact for performance and performance goals. So talk a little bit more about what the measurement looks like, what people should be expecting from their creator marketing campaigns that are deployed in their performance campaigns?
For measurement and analytics, we're building out the whole suite of brand lift, search lift, conversion lift, because we know that performance at the end of the day really is important to marketers and their ongoing relationships with creators, right? We want to make sure there's a mutual value exchange. I do really think that we are seeing when creator assets are added to more performance-focused campaigns, demand gen, great example, those creatives can resonate with viewers and potential clients so quickly that they will convert. And an example that we had from the end of last year, at the end of 2025, was Away Travel. And Away makes these like hard shell suitcases. Yeah. And just seeing all the places that creators literally are like pulling these suitcases, like airports, tropical locations, like in the snow, just really got to viewers of like, oh yes, I need that. I need that suitcase to go to this rugged place, or that just looks like the perfect opportunity. And I think that's a great example of the creator doesn't go into the mindset of I'm making this asset to sell suitcases, but I'm going to bring that suitcase with me as I'm filming my content, getting the same shots that their audience is used to seeing. And that can very quickly lead to a conversion.
All right. In closing, for businesses who are relatively new to creator marketing or marketers who have not been engaging in creator marketing directly, what would you say are 3 must-dos that they can start today?
So believe it or not, I was here in the very early days of search ads marketing. So I think a lot of the ethos can be transferred of like, one, just sit down and think about your brand and what you want to test. I think especially for marketers that are just newer to like YouTube, like visual element marketing, any of that is tapping into like, just test it, like get really experimental and know that it'll take time for you to learn the platform. But like, this is where people are day in and day out doing all types of activities. Just really embrace that mentality.
Yeah.
I think the second one is lean into creators and their voice. I know we talked quite a bit about this, but that really is the heart and the magic of when we see very successful campaigns on YouTube is the fact that they're coming together. And the third one just always comes down to measurement, analytics, and insights. I do think with creators and the way that their viewers like engage could be very different from the very clear, like it's in the search box, you get your result, they go to your website, right? So like, what does that journey and that engagement look and feel different, but additive and incremental perhaps even for YouTube and creator marketing? I really understanding what that looks like as part of their business plan and their overall marketing strategy is just a really key part of making sure that's represented in their portfolio.
We've talked a lot on this podcast about the importance of the full customer journey. And I think what I'm hearing you say is that creator marketing can like run that full spectrum from definitely. Awareness down to purchase, leads to purchase, whatever. That's a mindset shift, I think, for a lot of people in terms of the power of creator marketing to drive and business goals. Melissa, thank you so much. This has been great, and looking forward to what your teams are going to be doing for the rest of the year in YouTube creator partnerships.
Thank you for having me. We love ads.
Ads. Huge thank you to Melissa for joining me on stage to help us understand this evolving landscape of YouTube creator partnerships. What really struck me was Melissa's obvious enthusiasm about building these tools that enable connections between brands and creators, and they can spark creativity and deliver really meaningful results for businesses and creators of all sizes and across different sectors. Here's 3 things I took away to keep in mind as you consider tapping into YouTube creator partnerships. Number 1, trust the creator's voice. I heard this loud and clear. If you want that magic connection with an audience, you have to give the creators the freedom to talk about your brand in their own style. So no overly rigid restrictions or scripts. It's also really helpful to hear about businesses in more regulated sectors who are finding success with creator partnerships. Number two, there's several ways to get started. You might see custom tailored suggestions already populated in creator partnerships, again, under tools in your Google Ads account. You can also use the AI powered search function to see if there are creators who are already talking about your brand in their videos. And search for related interests, trends, other keywords that are relevant to your business. Three, have a plan. Be prepared for testing and experimentation, of course, but go in with a strategy. Prioritize creators that have audiences that align with your brand over their follower counts. And most of all, embrace the relationship building and the creator's expertise. All right, your action item. If you or your business are new to creator partnerships, this is an easy one. Just start by exploring and getting familiar with YouTube creator partnerships features and capabilities right in your account. Just starting that discovery process will give you a sense of what's possible. You can watch related videos without even leaving your Google Ads account. If you already have teams who are working with creators, reach out to them, learn more, understand how they're engaging, and discuss potential opportunities for advertising, promoting those videos in your performance campaigns. YouTube creator partnerships could be an entirely new avenue of growth. As always, I want to hear your thoughts and questions. Look for the Ads Decoded newsletter on the Google Ads LinkedIn page a day or so after this first airs. Post your questions in the comments or email us at adsdecoded@google.com. And if you find this podcast helpful, please subscribe, rate and review, spread the word. Cannot thank you enough for all the engagement we've seen so far. It just means the world. Until next time.